a man who can't give you what you want is literally a humiliation ritual.
If a man cannot give me more than I already have or he can add to what I have, why is he there?
I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you can't afford a woman's lifestyle, then date within your budget.
The only men that have an issue with a woman that wants a provider is the man that can't provide for a woman.
How to turn your man into a provider. You need to feel comfortable making him feel uncomfortable. You need to be okay with seeing him struggle, because if it ain't him struggling, girl, it's gonna be you.
Welcome to Masculine Dow.
I hate broke men more and more every single day.
Broke people should never laugh. Cause what the fuck is so funny?
I hate the things broke men do. I hate the things broke men say. I hate how loud the broke man's voice has become in the court of public opinion. So much so that they've been able to attempt to change the narrative that women don't have anything to offer and women don't bring anything to the table. Women don't deserve nice treatment unless you're fucking them. Women don't deserve to get their first days paid for. Women should also go 50-50 on all the bills, but not 50-50 on anything else, because everything else is also a woman's fucking job. At this point, what the fuck do y'all have to offer besides embarrassment?
Embarrassment started the moment you opened your motor mouth. There's absolutely nothing funny. More so when a low-budget beggar bum is trying to assume class, yet in actual sense, the class is being funded by someone else's wallet.
It's just so baffling to me that these men are trying to get the world to conform to their brokenness and not them go get a fucking skill and get a fucking job. And to the women out there who are giving these brokies the fucking world when they can't even give you some fucking silverware, I need y'all to stand the fuck up. Wake up.
At this point, she's not looking for a husband. She's looking for a husband. Lads, don't fall for these creepy yuppie fortune hunters from the arrogant brokey lineage with a lot of uncoordinated idiocy.
Dating a man who can't give you what you want is literally a humiliation ritual. I said it. Yeah. Okay. It's a humiliation ritual. Why would you date somebody who is not able to provide? Why would you date somebody who can't look after you? Why would you date somebody that is not ticking your boxes? They're not showing up for you. They're not working hard for you, so that means they're not serving you. They're not pleasing you. Why would you put yourself through that? Why would you do that?
Humiliation is a woman who looks like a wet raccoon thinking men have to provide for her everything she wants without doing a single thing in return. The only man who can give you whatever you want unconditionally is your old man.
What was the reason? What was the reason? I need to know. I'm actually curious. I'm a curious cat. You guys know how I am. I want to know. Why did you date the man who couldn't give you the life that you deserved? Why? Baby girl, don't worry. We all make mistakes, okay? We live and we learn, and that is what life is about.
Why would you be a fragile liability to a man for a lifestyle you can't handle and maintain on your own? You are bound to hustle and toil for yourself. Men don't give shit about hoes anymore.
What do you bring to the table? What do you bring to the table? If I'm supposed to be bringing the same thing you're bringing to the table, what the hell do you need me for? Matter of fact, what the hell do you need any woman for? Go date a man. If you want me to work just as hard as you do to bring cash to the table, it sounds like you want a man.
This is the kind of entitlement that women tend to bring into modern dating. Don't expect princess treatment on a peasant mindset. You have to attach value for a real man to pick you up.
Conversations like this are always so annoying because you're comparing something that's quantifiable versus something that's not. I'm not gonna go and pretend that men and women bring the same thing to the table. Let's be real here. But men bringing finances to the table is quantifiable. I can literally say he brings X amount to the table. What women offer is not the same thing, but that's kind of the point. If you wanted someone bringing finances that are quantifiable to the table, you would date a man, but you don't want to date a man because you want women for their feminine qualities. And as it goes, that shit's not really quantifiable. It's something you feel. It's something that makes you feel good when you have a woman in your life. The presence and the magic of a woman's love and touch is like...
Women with such entitlement are usually the ones with nothing, like any Benjamins on their accounts. And they are counting on a guy's money. They are harlots and robbers in disguise for love, yet in actual sense they came to collect.
The quickest way for a man to lose respect for you, not that the respect of men matters, but I mean if you're gonna deal with them, is start buying shit for him. Start helping him in his times of needs. Never do that. Come to think of it, I have never bought a nigga shit.
Ranting about how women are not supposed to do shit for men is one of the most insane things I have heard these self-centered feminists and gold diggers yap. You can't expect a man to provide for you while expecting nothing in return. Men are not government projects that aim for non-profitable ventures.
I have never bought a nigga shit. And every time I tried to, he refused it. Why? Because real men are not supposed to accept anything from you. A man that really likes you ain't gonna want you to do shit but sit back and relax. He's not even gonna want you to know that he's in financial troubles. If a man lets you know he's in financial trouble, he don't really like you or respect you.
The only reason as to why you have never bought nothing for your guy is simply because you're cheap and got no money. Everything you're saying just shows that you're struggling and actually need financial support. But you ain't getting any.
I feel like men are becoming more useless to women because men can't even provide in this economy anymore. Like, if you can't provide, what can you do?
Modern dating isn't a sponsorship program. It's not a charity where one side funds the lifestyle while the other enjoys the benefits. It's supposed to be mutual, effort, respect, and real connection. If it feels transactional, it's not dating. And in 2026, more men are opting out of one-sided deals.
Y'all, someone asked me today, what if he doesn't have to give? Then he should not be dating. He should be focusing on himself. He should be focusing on having something to give to a woman, because all women require money. It's 2026. We're now romanticizing struggle. We're now romanticizing struggle and brokenness and having pity for it. And no.
This kind of entitlement to a man's money is unacceptable. Love is not a debit card. Affection is not a subscription service. Fellas, don't let romance be the disguise for manipulation. If it's only love when you're paying, that's not love. That's leverage.
You should not be dating. You should not be with women or even thinking about courting a woman and you don't got to give. Baby, he need to get his money up.
This growing sense of entitlement to a man's wallet needs to be called out. Love isn't a financial obligation, and commitment isn't a payment plan. Gentlemen, don't confuse emotional pressure with genuine affection. If the connection only survives when you're spending, then it was never built on love. It was built on access.
If a man cannot give me more than I already have, or he can add to what I have, why is he there? Why am I dating someone? It doesn't make sense to me. If a person does not make you happier, more loved, or even wealthier, why are you there? I don't get it. Like, if it's not growing you, then why are you?
This rising entitlement to a man's money is exactly what's turning men off. Some people don't want partnership and they want access. Access to your income, your effort, your resources, without earning respect in return. That you're supposed to provide mindset, that's not love. That's expectation without contribution. And in 2026, men are questioning why they should finance entitlement instead of building something mutual.
How to turn your man into a provider. You need to feel comfortable making him feel uncomfortable. You need to be okay with seeing him struggle, because if it ain't him struggling, girl, it's gonna be you. And I say this with so much confidence because when I first met my husband, I was in the dating scene. If I could provide the lifestyle of my dreams by myself, being a woman who has to deal with menstrual cycles, hormone changes, and I do not have testosterone running through my veins, you're telling me I'm going to put an excuse for a man who can barely provide? Absolutely not.
Some are out here preaching that a man must suffer just to prove he cares. Like struggle is the standard for love. But let's be clear, provision isn't punishment. If we're in a relationship, I'll provide what I can afford, not what you demand by force. Love doesn't come with a price tag set by pressure. It's built on balance, not financial exhaustion.
I'm not afraid of seeing my husband struggle. At some point in our marriage, he was working 3 to 4 jobs. He was sleeping for about 4 hours to make ends meet.
These are the same people watching you grind day and night to provide, while they've got money sitting in their own accounts. They see the hustle and effort, but instead of meeting you halfway, they expect you to carry it all. That's not partnership, that's convenience. And more men are starting to recognize the difference.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you can't afford a woman's lifestyle, then date within your budget. Stop shaming women for wanting what you can't provide.
Stop shaming men for not giving you things you can't even provide for yourself. If you can't afford it on your own, why should it automatically become someone else's obligation? Standards are fine, but expectations without self-capacity, that's entitlement, not empowerment.
The only men that have an issue with a woman that wants a provider is the man that can't provide for a woman. The men that live paycheck to paycheck, low credit score, broke, and call women that want a man with a provider gold diggers are the ones that literally cannot provide. You can find a man that is living paycheck to paycheck, but when he sees you, he sees value in you, and he will literally build himself to a space where he can provide for you because that's his mentality.
There's this mindset that a man providing is automatic, like it's mandatory the moment he steps into a relationship. But provision is a choice, not an obligation. No one is entitled to someone else's money just because they're dating them. When it's demanded instead of appreciated, it stops being love and starts feeling like a bill. And that's why more men are saying, partnership, yes, entitlement, no.
Because he doesn't have it like that at the moment doesn't mean that he can't get it like that, and he will make it clear. You guys are settling for men that believe in this whole 50-50 crap. They can't do anything for you because they can barely do for themselves.
Some act like a man's money is guaranteed in a relationship. It's not. Provision is a choice, not a right. And when it's treated like an entitlement, don't be surprised when men start opting out.
If men cannot provide, they should not look into marriage, is something that I talked about recently. Because in marriage they have this obligation. However, these be the exact same men that say when women get advice, they get mad, they don't take the advice. But just look at the men in the comment section of what I wrote. Taking everything out of context, saying that, oh, all women want luxury and they want something we can't afford and stuff like that, as if someone is forcing them to marry someone that wants that exact lifestyle.
That same standard applies here too. You can't expect provision while refusing commitment. You can't demand loyalty benefits while keeping your options open. No man is going to fund a situation where he's not respected, prioritized, or taken seriously. Support follows stability, not confusion.
I think what's happening today is people don't marry their type. They want to find someone who wants the exact opposite and change the person as much as possible to their own benefit.
There is no such thing as changing a person. The truth is, the right person doesn't need to be forced or reshaped. When someone genuinely values you, they naturally adjust, compromise, and grow in ways that make the connection work. People may resist change for many, but when they truly like or care about someone, making those adjustments never feels like a burden. It feels natural.
Man with money is expected to share, but a woman with money is told she doesn't need a man. Same income, totally different rules. Let me explain before you get mad. In our culture, men are taught from day one that if they're not earning, they're failing. If they can't provide, they're not real men. If they don't pick up the check, they're broke or stingy. A man's value is often reduced to his financial output.
The ideology that a man's money is for both, but a woman's money is hers alone, that mindset is flawed. That's not equality, that's selective responsibility. A real partnership means shared effort, shared sacrifice, shared growth. You can't preach independence and still expect dependence when it benefits you. If it's ours, then it's ours on both sides, not just when it's convenient.
When women become successful, we don't expect them to carry anybody. In fact, we celebrate it as a form of freedom. Yes, queen, you're independent. She doesn't need a man. He's expected to provide, but she's expected to escape. Because if we really want partnership, then we need to stop placing all the financial burden on one side, while celebrating freedom on the other.
The one in a million, finally found. Do such women really exist, or is this just for the audience? At this point, I'm starting to think you'd make a great grandma, and maybe even a ladies' advisor.
To what point does this Shira 7 boss girl mentality, man-eater type of thing just become begging? Because I feel like we're at a tipping point here where it is becoming extremely obvious that a lot of girls in the dating pool, you guys just don't got your bag up. Like, expecting a man to fund everything in your life in order to have a shot with you, and you're asking a man for money for like everything.
Some are entering relationships for convenience, not connection. When a partner becomes a financial plan instead of a genuine bond, love turns into leverage. And that's why more men are rethinking what they're investing in.
I'm not saying we should be ashamed to be broke, but like, let's call it as it is. It seems like begging. You know, call me crazy, but I just don't think money should be at the center of a romantic relationship. Obviously, this is like a different story if it's like, oh, you know, like if I ask and he doesn't for like something like small emergency or I don't know. Obviously there's context. Obviously there's problems if he does blah blah blah. But this new generation of thinking where like a man gotta do this financially for me to have a shot, is it really like girl power, or is it like you're low-key just a beggar?